Hi everyone, my name's Chelsey and welcome to the MILSO Support YouTube page. In an effort to get to know the girls of this channel a little bit better, I thought it would be a good idea to have our first video be the MILSO tag. All of the girls on this channel are actually a part of the MILSO Support Facebook page, and Emily O, who is on this channel, is actually the owner of that page. And I just thought that it would be a good idea to create a YouTube channel to provide advice, answer questions, and just do fun videos on being a MILSO. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I do have the questions pulled up in a note on my phone, and I'm going to go ahead and just go through them one by one. So the first question is, what branch of service is your boyfriend or husband in? And my boyfriend, his name is Peter, and he is in the U.S. Army Reserves. We're actually from Michigan, so he's technically stationed here. But currently he is at Officer Candidate School in Fort Benning, Georgia, and he actually graduated basic training in the middle of August. The second question is, how long have you been with him? And I have been with him for 3 years. Our 3-year anniversary was actually last Friday. So we started dating in August of 2011. We actually met on my 21st birthday. We became friends a few months after that and just started talking, and then we ended up dating later that summer. The third question is, did you meet him before or after he joined? And I definitely met him well before he joined. One of the first things that I knew about him was that it was his dream to be in the military. However, his family wasn't very supportive of that. They wanted him to go to college and get his bachelor's degree, in which he did. We actually both have the same degree. We went to school together. That's not how we met, however, but we had the same major. We both majored in human resources. So he did that, and he let his parents know that he did what they wanted him to do, which was to get his bachelor's degree. So now it was time for him to live his dream and do what he wanted to do. So he is becoming an officer in the Army. The fourth question is, what would you say is the hardest part of being a military girlfriend or wife? The hardest part for me, I think, is just not being able to talk to my boyfriend when I want to. If I'm having a bad day, it's really hard. He's an officer candidate school right now, so he has more privileges than he did in basic training. However, officer candidate school is a lot harder than basic training. Just from what I hear from him. Obviously, I'm not going through it, and obviously everything that he's going through is 1,000 times harder than what I'm going through and being here. I get to be at home. I'm surrounded by friends. I have my job to keep me going. He's constantly in training, stressing out. You have to pass everything in officer candidate school in order to move forward, or else you get recycled. So he's under a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, but he's doing very well. But just not being able to talk to him when I want to talk to him is hard. In basic training, like I said, privilege, you don't have many privileges at all. It's mainly all letters, and I think that was hard for me. But now that he's in officer candidate school, time seems to be going by a lot faster just because I can talk to him a lot more. So for any of you ladies that have significant others going to officer candidate school for the Army, I'm not sure how it is for other branches, but that's something that you can look forward to. They do get to communicate a lot more than they did in basic training. Let's see. 5. When will you see your military man? I will actually see him in 4 weeks. I'll see him the first weekend in October. He's actually getting a weekend pass, and they're doing their branching ceremony for officer candidate school. So I will get to go visit him then and spend the weekend with him. So I'm really excited about that. 6. Do you have a good, stable relationship? And we definitely do. We're each other's best friends, which I think is something, that's very, very important in a relationship. I definitely think that you need to have that trust and stability in your relationship, especially just in long distance relationships in general. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a military relationship. Granted, my boyfriend is in the reserves, so once he's done with officer candidate school, he does come home and he gets to stay home and he gets to go back to work until he goes to Bullock. which is their basic officer leadership course, and he's actually going to be an MP. So he'll leave for that, and I believe that's 17 weeks, and even after that, he gets to come home. He does 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, and then other trainings throughout. And then, of course, if he were to get deployed, he would be gone. But we have a good, stable relationship. We have that trust. We tell each other absolutely everything. He's my best friend. We're complete weirdos together, but I wouldn't have it any other way. A couple of these questions don't necessarily apply to me. Number 7 is have your boyfriend or husband ever been deployed? And he has not. And then number 8, if so, how many times and where? Once again, it doesn't really apply to me. Number 9, during deployments, do you struggle with being happy? So obviously he hasn't been deployed, but he went through basic training and he is an officer candidate school. So I'll just kind of apply the question to that. In basic training, I would say I did struggle a little bit with being happy. He was gone over the summer, and summer is, the time. It's not my favorite season whatsoever. I hate the humidity in Michigan. I hate it so much. But during the summer, just going out with friends and being the third wheel, fifth wheel, seventh wheel, it happened to me all of the time. And sometimes it would get old and I would feel lonely and I wouldn't be able to pick up my phone and text him or call him when I was having a bad day. So that was definitely, hard. I struggled with being happy at times. There were times when I just had really, really bad days, but I just had to keep telling myself that what he's going through is a lot harder than what I'm going through right now, and that he's coming home and, he's going to graduate and I'm going to get to see him in 9 weeks for graduation and family day. So that's what I kept telling myself, and that's honestly what kept me going. A lot of people say, keep busy. That keeps you going. That definitely does. Writing letters, anything that you can do just to keep busy. I know a lot of people scrapbook, people do crafts, start taking classes, workout classes. My job is absolutely crazy and it's very intense and very time consuming. So that's what kept me busy. I didn't really start any sort of new hobby or anything like that. I just kind of continued living my normal life, just obviously without my boyfriend there for the time being. Number 10, has your relationship ever ended due to distance? It has not. Number 11, uniform or civilian clothes. Of course, the first time that I saw my boyfriend in his uniform actually in person, I, obviously thought that he looked amazing. I had seen pictures of him, of course, on the Facebook page that his company posted when he was going through basic training, so I got to see him in his uniform before that. But I think that he looks good in civilian clothes and in his uniform. Of course, when he's wearing his uniform, he obviously, there's a sense of pride there that I think is really admirable. So, of course, I love seeing him in his uniform a lot. Number 12, has he given you his dog tags to wear? And yes, he has. When I went down to see him for family day and graduation, after he graduated, we actually got to take him to Fort Benning from Fort Jackson. So we got to drive there. His parents drove separate, and my boyfriend and I, we took his car. We went down there. He was supposed to have a full weekend pass. They ended up cutting it short, and he had to go back on Saturday instead of Sunday. And I was really, really upset. And I just remember in my hotel room, right before he was getting ready to leave, he gave me his dog tags to wear, the ones that he wore when he was going through basic training, and he bought 2 extra pair for OCS to have. So he only had to buy 1, but he bought 2 so he could give me the ones that he wore through basic training. So it was kind of something a little more special than just buying me a brand new pair and giving them to me. It was something that he had worn before. And I keep hitting Siri on my phone, so I'm sorry if you can hear that. And number 13, do you enjoy dating a man in the military? I definitely do. I'm extremely proud of him military or not. It doesn't matter if he would have joined the military or not. I still would love him just as much, and I would still be just as proud of him for being the person that he is. But I am extremely, extremely proud of him for following his dream despite the people who didn't support him at first. Number 14, ever wish you had met someone who wasn't in the military? No. I wouldn't trade meeting him for the world. And like I said, I knew him well before he joined the military, so that really had no bearing on anything. 15, do you cherish time more with him since he leaves so much? I haven't experienced him being home and leaving a lot yet. But when I do get to see him, I do cherish it. I've only got to see him once since he's been gone, and that was for family day and graduation and just the basically 1.5 day pass that he got. And I definitely cherished that. I always cherish my time with him, but of course, when you're not going to be with someone and you know that you're not going to be with them for extended periods of time, or you know that they're leaving soon, of course, you're going to cherish that time and it's going to mean so much more to you. But time with him always means something to me, and it's always very special. Number 16, is your man trustworthy when it comes to being faithful? I don't even question that. He is super, super trustworthy. He's one of the most trusting people I know. I trust him, he trusts me. We have that kind of relationship. We tell each other everything. If we're pissing each other off, I'll say, you're pissing me off, instead of going to a girlfriend or another one of my guy friends and saying, Pete's really really pissing me off today. I'll go to him and I'll say, hey, you're really pissing me off today, and we'll talk things out. We talk our issues out together. And we're, like I said, we're best friends, so we don't really have any issues there. Number 17, has he ever surprised you with homecomings? He has not, but we haven't had the opportunity for that yet. He did surprise me and sent me flowers on our anniversary last week and had them delivered to me when I was at work. So that was definitely really, really sweet of him, and it made my day since, we couldn't spend it together. That one. Number 18, do real men wear combat boots? I would say that whatever makes a person real to you, that's what matters. I don't think that my boyfriend is any more of a man because he's in the Army. Of course, he's brave, and I am extremely proud of him for that, but he wasn't any less of a man before he was in the military. Number 19, are you in love with your military man? Of course I'm in love with him. We've been together for 3 years, and I know that we're going to be together for many more. And the last question is number 20. If you could tell him one thing, what would it be? If I can tell him one thing, and this is something that I tell him all of the time, and he probably gets sick of hearing it, but I'm pretty sure that every single day I tell him how proud I am of him. I just want him to know that I support him and I'm there for him, even though I can't necessarily help him study for tests or be there and know exactly what he's going through. I'm just so proud of him for being so strong and living his dream, and that I love him so much. So that is my one thing that I would tell him. That is the end of my video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment below, and don't forget to watch all the other girls' videos on this channel, and we will have new topics every week. Have a good day.